Welcome to part 3, How to Win People to Your Way of Thinking of How to Win Friends and Influence People by Dale Carnegie. Principle 1. Avoid a heated argument. Carnegie firmly believes that you can't truly win an argument. If you lose, you lose. And if you win, you still lose, because the victory might sour your relationship. He explains that even if you defeat someone's argument by making them feel inferior or hurting their pride, they might resent you instead of changing their mind. This is captured in the saying, "A man convinced against his will is of the same opinion still." As wise old Ben Franklin used to say, "If you argue and rankle and contradict, you may achieve a victory sometimes, but it will be an empty victory because you will never get your opponent's goodwill." An article in Bits and Pieces, mentioned in a book, offers tips on how to keep a disagreement from becoming a heated argument. 1. Welcome the disagreement. Recognize that disagreements can offer valuable new insights and might prevent you from making mistakes. 2. Question your first reactions. Our initial response to a disagreement can be defensive. Stay calm and consider your response carefully. 3. Control anger. You can maintain clear thinking and effective communication by keeping anger in check. 4. Listen before responding. Let others finish speaking without interruption, which helps in understanding their perspective and reducing conflict. 5. Find common ground. Focus on agreeing first, which can make resolving differences easier. 6. Admit mistakes. If you are wrong, admit it. This can disarm the other person and reduce defensiveness. 7. Consider others' ideas. Show that you are open to considering their viewpoints seriously, making them more likely to listen to yours. 8. Appreciate the engagement. Thank those who disagree with you. It shows they care about the issue, and this respect can transform opponents into allies. Principle 2. Respect other people's opinions. Never say you're wrong. This principle emphasizes that telling someone they are wrong, whether by words, tone, or gesture, is an attack on someone's intelligence, judgment, pride, and self-respect. Such direct criticism is likely to provoke a defensive reaction rather than open the person up to changing their mind. When people feel attacked, they are more inclined to fight back rather than reconsider their views, regardless of how logical their argument might be. The risk of direct criticism, emotional defense. Criticism can hurt feelings deeply. Once someone's emotions are involved, it would be difficult to change someone's mind. Creating resistance. Starting a conversation by asserting that you will prove something to the other person comes off as confrontational. It suggests that someone is wrong before the real discussion even begins and can make the other person defensive. Effective strategies for influencing opinions. 1. Subtlety and tact. Instead of making a show of proving your point, do it subtly. Influence others' opinions without making them feel that they are being persuaded or corrected. 2. Avoid direct challenges. Don't start discussions with a challenge. This only raises barriers to effective communication. 3. Respect and understanding. Always show respect for others' opinions. This respect can make people more open to listening and potentially changing their viewpoints without feeling inferior or attacked. Principle 3. Admit mistakes quickly. This principle is grounded in the belief that acknowledging one's errors is not only an ethical and mature response, but also demonstrates honesty and accountability, fostering trust and respect. It also shows one's courage and the capacity to handle difficult situations without resorting to excuses. Other practical benefits of admitting mistakes. Diffuses tension. Quickly acknowledging a mistake can prevent situations from escalating by clearing the air and removing any sense of guilt or defensive. Improve problem solving. Admitting errors often helps in finding solutions to problems created by those mistakes. Encourages a learning culture. By openly acknowledging errors, you contribute to an environment where learning from mistakes is valued over hiding them. Principle 4. Begin in a friendly way. This principle emphasizes the importance of beginning interactions in a friendly way. Starting conversations positively, whether in professional or personal contexts, sets the stage for more cooperative and positive outcomes. A friendly beginning can disarm potential defenses and foster an environment where all parties are more open to understanding and collaboration. The impact of a positive start. Emotional atmosphere. If you start a conversation while angry or confrontational, it's likely to end poorly. People are generally resistant to change when approached with hostility. Encouraging agreement. Carnegie argues that you cannot win people over if they harbor negative feelings toward you. A friendly approach removes barriers, making it easier for others to listen and potentially agree with you. Principle 5. Seek common ground. This principle emphasizes the strategic benefit of getting the other person to agree with you from the start of a conversation, by focusing on areas of agreement such as mutual goals and shared values rather than contention. This sets the conversation in a more collaborative tone, leading the discussion in an affirmative direction. Psychological advantage of seeking common ground. Avoiding no responses. Professor Overstreet notes that a no not only represents disagreement, but also triggers a psychological and physical posture of defense. Once someone has said no, they're likely to stick to it due to pride and the need for consistency. Building momentum. With yes like a moving billiard ball, it's easier to keep someone moving in the direction they've already started. Getting an initial agreement makes further agreement more likely because the person's mindset becomes more receptive and open. Historical example and wisdom. Socrates was renowned for changing the course of human thought, and famous for his Socratic method rarely told people they were wrong directly. Instead, he asked questions that led them to agree repeatedly, gently guiding them to realize a new conclusion on their own. Principle 6. Encourage others to talk. This principle highlights the value of listening in any interaction. Carnegie suggests that an effective way to win people to your way of thinking is by first giving them the floor. Encouraging others to talk not only helps you gather insights, but also makes them more receptive to your ideas when it's your turn to speak. Benefits of listening. Greater insight. By listening more than you speak, you gain a better understanding of where the other person is coming from, which can inform your responses and strategies. Reducing resistance. People are less likely to listen to your ideas if they feel their own are not being heard. Letting them express their thoughts fully decreases their defensiveness and makes them more open to other points of view. Building rapport. When people feel listened to, they are more likely to trust and respect you, which can lead to more productive and positive interactions. Practical tips for encouraging dialogue. Ask questions. Show genuine interest in what others have to say by asking questions that encourage them to elaborate on their thoughts and experiences. Avoid interrupting. Even if you disagree, refrain from interrupting. Interruptions can make others feel undervalued and are likely to shut down effective communication. Listen patiently and sincerely. Adopt a mindset that is open and genuinely interested in understanding the other person's viewpoint. Principle 6 teaches that true persuasion involves more listening than talking. By letting others do most of the talking, you facilitate a deeper connection, making it easier to influence and persuade them towards your viewpoints. This principle is crucial in all manners of communication, from personal interactions to professional negotiations. Principle 7. Let people own your idea. This principle emphasizes the psychological aspect that people have more faith and confidence in ideas that they feel they discovered themselves, rather than those that are imposed upon them. By guiding others to suggest your ideas as if they were their own, you can generate greater enthusiasm and dedication to implementing these ideas. Benefits of idea ownership. Enhanced commitment. People are typically more invested in executing a plan or project if they believe they have some form of ownership of the idea. Reduced resistance. This approach avoids the natural resistance that comes when someone feels they are being pushed into accepting someone else's idea. Increased creativity. Allowing others to arrive at conclusions themselves encourages a more creative and involved thought process. Tips on how to apply this principle. Make subtle suggestions. Instead of directly stating what should be done, make subtle suggestions that lead others to consider these ideas as their own. Consult others. Always ask for others' opinions and suggestions, which not only shows respect for their input, but also encourages them to take ownership of the ideas discussed. Encourage participation. Engage others in dialogue that leads them to articulate the solution or idea, reinforcing their role in its creation. Principle 8. Strive to understand others. This principle involves understanding and acknowledging the perspectives and feelings of others. Understanding someone else's viewpoint not only shows respect, but also prevents misunderstandings and conflicts. It can open your eyes to new ideas and facilitate more meaningful interactions. Respecting different perspectives. Recognize others may disagree. People might hold views that are different from you, but it's important not to dismiss or condemn these views outright, but rather to try to understand them. Seek the underlying reasons. Everyone has reasons for their thoughts and actions. Discovering these reasons can provide insights into their actions and potentially their personality. Self-reflection. Ask yourself how you would feel and react if you were in the other person's position. Principle 9. Sympathize with the other person's ideas and desires. This principle focuses on the importance of showing empathy towards others' ideas and desires. Carnegie highlights that being sympathetic to others' ideas and feelings is more than just a communication technique. It's a way to build deeper, more meaningful connections. Empathy can make it easier to work through disagreements and collaborate toward common goals. The power of empathy. Creating goodwill and cooperation. Expressing understanding for another person's feelings can diffuse potential conflicts and foster a spirit of cooperation. Carnegie offers a magic phrase to demonstrate empathy effectively. I completely understand why you feel that way. In your shoes, I'd probably feel the same. Such an acknowledgement can soften even the most stubborn attitudes. Universal craving for sympathy. Dr. Arthur Vine. Gates notes in his book, Educational Psychology, that sympathy is a universally craved sentiment. Both children and adults seek sympathy for their physical or emotional pains. Recognizing and addressing this need in conversations can enhance your relationships and interactions. Principle 10. Appeal to the nobler motives. This principle is about tapping into the higher values and principles that many people aspire to uphold. Carnegie suggests that when trying to persuade or motivate others, it is most effective to appeal to the nobler motives. People generally like to think of themselves as guided by high ethical standards and noble causes. By aligning your requests or proposals with these higher values, you can inspire people to action and foster a shared sense of purpose. Principle 11. Make your ideas vivid. This principle emphasizes the effectiveness of dramatizing your ideas to make them more compelling. By using storytelling, vivid examples, and concrete demonstrations, you can capture the imagination of your audience and make a persuasive case for your proposals. Examples and applications, marketing techniques. Consider how television commercials use drama to sell products. Advertisers often use visual demonstrations to show the effectiveness of their products. These vivid portrayals help consumers easily grasp the benefits of a product. Presentation skills. In professional or educational presentations, using vivid imagery, anecdotes, or demonstrations can help clarify complex information and make the content more relatable and memorable. Engaging storytelling. Whether in sales, leadership, or everyday interactions, stories that paint a clear picture or evoke emotions tend to be more impactful and persuasive. Message. Principle 12. Throw down a challenge. This principle highlights the importance of stimulating motivation through competition and personal challenge. Carnegie recognized people have innate desire, have to achieve and excel. By presenting challenges, you can tap into this natural competitiveness, motivate people to engage more fully, and put forth their best efforts. Frederick Hertzberg, a renowned behavioral scientist, found something surprising after studying the work attitudes of thousands, from factory workers to senior executives. What motivated them the most wasn't money, comfortable working conditions, or benefits. Instead, it was the nature of the work itself. Hertzberg concluded that people are most motivated when their work is engaging, allowing for self-expression and achievement, more so than traditional incentives. Why challenge work? Stimulation. Challenges stimulate the mind and spirit, making the task or goal more engaging. Personal growth. They provide an opportunity for individuals to test their limits and demonstrate their capabilities. Sense of achievement. Completing a challenge provides a sense of satisfaction and improves self-confidence. In this video, we've discussed key takeaways of Part 3. How to win people to your way of thinking from the book. How to Win Friends and Influence People by Dale Carnegie. Please see the next video where we'll discuss Part 4. How to change people without giving offense or arousing resentment. If you want to stay updated with our latest content, click that subscribe button and ring the bell for notifications. Thank you so much for watching.